thing. But people like that have to talk like that. And a growing movement of people who are seriously preoccupied by this tiny possibility that a real black hole might arise from this experiment. And unfortunately, it would not devour Switzerland first, but it would sink down from the Large Hadron Collider. That's the technical name of this big installation in Geneva. It would sink down from there to the center of the Earth, and then begin its labor of devouring its environment. And as a result of this, the Earth could shrink down to the size of an orange or a basketball, which, by the way, would allow us to get a first-hand insight into the fact that the reality behind reality is distance. Infinities, almost quasi-infinities of empty spaces between atoms and molecules. How the reality of reality takes these distances away, and what you get is an Earth the size of an orange. So let's celebrate distance every day, and let us hope that we do not this kind of first-hand insight that the people in Geneva could eventually provide us. This is my first hint to the fact that one of the great reality makers in our time are the technical devices that these geniuses, here's a plural, is once exceptionally legitimate. Normally the word genius should not be used as plural. But in that case, it is really a whole field of masterminds who have managed to establish this machinery. And that shows that science has developed a really uncanny power to reshape our concepts of reality. And these experiments are among us. They would oblige us to draw conclusions for our reinterpretation of the whole realm of reality. Let me talk a couple of words in favor of my second client, which is another hybrid structure located once again in the southern Europe. I mean this ominous enterprise called ITER, which is the Latin name for the way. Originally it was also an acronym for a technical device. It's all the people that are engaged in this ITER project refer to the Latin name for the way. But which way has here been chosen by the participants in the ITER project? The project is nothing else but the European-American approach to the development of a fusion reactor, which means we are trying to repeat the processes inside the sun on the surface of the Earth. This is important because the reality behind modern reality is a massive consumption of fuel, of fossil energy. Everything we do, almost everything we eat, almost everything we think is in one way or another way conditioned by the fact that behind our way of life there is this tremendous experience of the facilitation of almost everything by the presence of cheap energy. Cheap fossil energy is a basic reality factor in our times. Into to the future and see that this resource will not always be available in spite of this evangelic messages that the American neoliberals have spread all over the world in the 80s, saying we still have fuel for 1,000 years or so. We have come back to the realities of scarcity, have understood that there is maybe enough for 30, 40, 50 years. And in the meantime, we have to develop a new way of energy to waste. It is not alternative energy, really interesting for us. It is energy to waste, cheap energy to waste, that will help us to maintain our explosive and waste-based way of life. That is the deeper motive behind the development of the sun reactor. And there is a kind of heliomimetic strive in modern culture as such. You might remember that one of the most outstanding works of art in the Russian Revolution was a collective work in which Chaplin and other important artists participated, called Defeating the Sun, the Sieg über die Sonne. I do not know the exact English translation. Defeating the sun, triumph over the sun. That is victory of the sun. That is so the expression of the modern utopian idea is in its clearest form. So the human race has started to dream a heliomimetic dream. And when Friedrich Nietzsche, in his autobiography, Ex Homo, said, "I am not a human being, I am dynamite." This is nothing compared with what the Earth, the modern Earth, in her autobiography, etc., writes when she says, "I do no longer want to remain a planet. I want to become a sun." And this